Hi guys, how are you? It's Brick Nostalgia here once again with you. Today what I would like to do is to do a brief review of this excavator that is a build of a very old Lego Technic idea book. This is the idea book number 8888 from 1990, and the build is actually the one that you see in the front cover is this excavator. The only difference between these and the one I'm gonna show you now is the color scheme. The only reason why I made it of a different color is simply because I didn't have the pieces to make it blue. I'm very short of blue pieces. I just had lots of yellow ones, so I just decided to go for a different color scheme. But pretty much for everything else is almost built with the same pieces that are shown in the instructions in the idea book. Okay, so the build is awesome. It was very fun to do. There was lots of intelligence behind it, and I really like it. The reason why I really wanted to do it is because this arm is controlled by a whole set of gears instead of using pneumatic system. So I built the model because I really wanted to see how the control of the arm can be done using gears instead of cylinders or the pneumatic system, just because, you know, it might happen that many people don't have some gears here and there but don't have the pneumatic system or the cylinders, and they are also pretty expensive, so it could lead some people to opt for a build of this type. Okay, I really like the set. I really like the aesthetics. I'm gonna just go for a brief overview. There are two sections. There is the bottom section here with the train tracks, and the rest is made pretty much of a bunch of very basic bricks. It rotates, and there is the upper part. In the upper part is made by the cabin. There are these two big wheels that control two of the three sections of the arms. Then there is the back of it, which is made of pretty simple elements as well, but I like the touch here that where with these bricks it represents like sort of radiator of the motor. On this other side it's very nice as well, just another little detail here that represents another motor radiators. This is the smokestack, or supposed to represent it. And then we come to the most important part, which is the arm. This is the third of the three wheels that control one of the three sections. The bucket, the big bucket here that is supposed to collect stuff if you want to play with it, doesn't really have much room to collect many pieces. Not really practical in practice if you want to try to collect something due to the build of it. But once again, it's a very good example. They show you how you can build a bucket even if you don't have one of the good ones from the Lego Technic system. So this is a really good build because it's you can come up with this just using a lot of very basic bricks and enough gears. If you have enough gears and axles, it doesn't really require any specialty. Then this is the front, and pretty much that's it. This set has two weaknesses. The very first one is that the bottom comes out very easily. It's connected through this piece, the very classic Lego piece that you find in a lot of Lego system sets. and unfortunately it's very weak. If you just put a bit of pressure while you're using the set, it can it just comes out very easily, and it takes a bit of effort. Actually, being quite lucky this time, didn't take that long, but sometimes it can take a minute to get the whole thing in place. The second weakness is when it comes about moving the arm. Now I'm gonna show you what I mean with this. Let's go through the wheels very briefly to show you which wheel controls which section, and then I'm gonna do a demonstration to show you what I mean when I said that there is a weakness in this system. Okay, first, this very first wheel here is supposed to control this part of the whole arm, this first section, as you can see. This second wheel here is supposed to control this second section, as I can show you now, while this third and last wheel, that is this one that you see here, is supposed to control the big bucket, as you can see here. Now the problem is that you really need to only act upon these two wheels, because this one is connected to this through this elastic band, and what happens is that this moves on its own every time you act on these two. Now I'm gonna show you a demonstration. So let's suppose I just want to collect something. As you can see, as I start to spread the arm out, you can see that this wheel is already rotating on its own, and what will happen at some point is that once this arm is spread long enough, the weight of this section will get this part of the arm, this first section, to move on its own, and you won't have to act on this wheel at all. So what you can do now, if you let me just put everything back in place, a good solution is that with this hand you just put your thumb on this wheel in order to block it, and then with the other two, with the fingers that you have left for this hand and the other hand, you just start controlling these two sections on the arm, and then you can just play with it. So if for example I want to, in order to have a better this is all just in order to have a better control of the arm. So if for example I want to pretend that I want to collect something this over there, you can see that I can just spread the arm using these two wheels here, and then when I want to lower down the arm I just release my thumb, and this will go, the whole arm will come down on its own due to the weight of the bucket. If you want, once you are in this position, if you want to pretend you are collecting the item and put everything back in the original position, once again, actually at this point you don't even need to pull your arm, you just play with these first two gears, and what will happen is that yes, there you go, you just move the other way around. What is going to happen is that the arm will go back in place on its own, as you can see, just acting on this wheel, and this is due to the fact that this wheel and this wheel are connected to each other through these elastic bands. So once there's enough tension in this wheel, then the arm will go back in place on its own. Okay. This unfortunately makes the model a little bit weak, because it would have been way better to just have a very independent control of all the three sections, but you know, you do what you can based on the structure you can give to the model. When you will build this set, you will notice that a lot of gears are needed. The good news is that lots of gears that are present in this model are not really necessary. So if you don't have all the gears needed to build a model as it is presented now, or it is in the book, the good news is that you can make it work getting rid of quite a few of them. For example, if you look here, all these wheels here are connecting this wheel to this huge wheel here that controls directly this first section of the arm. And I'm not sure if you can really see, but for example here I have 4 gears that I could get rid of and just connect this very small wheel that drives this big one to straight away through this axle to this wheel here. So you know, still would work the same, just using a lot less gears. And also on this section here, let me see if I can show you, this wheel is connected to this one through this whole series here. But here, for example, if you just move this gear over here, over there, you can have still the same result, but you can get rid of these 2 gears over here. So you know, it will help a lot at some point. I'm just fortunate that I don't have many Lego sets, Lego Technic sets, but one of the ones I have is the big vintage car. I think the model number is 8868, and in that big car there was this huge, there were like a whole bunch of gears that allow me to build lots of alternate models, you know. And even if the model needs lots of gears, I tend to not to run out of them. But if you're not in my situation, you know, you can build a lot of this model still make it work. It's good. I like it. It was great fun to play it. You can find sorry guys, I've got lots of coughing today. You can find the instructions or PDF versions or scanned versions of this book online, so you don't need to have it. So if you want to build a model, you can make it easily. These are just, I'm just gonna go very briefly through the instructions. You can see here, you can see that you can buy the bottom side, then you start to build up the upper part of it and start setting the gears. In this section you start to build up the arm. You got a big bucket here, and then it puts everything all together as it is. Here moves to another model. So yeah, if you want, like, you know, you can buy that. I really suggest you to do that. It's a very fun model, and I will definitely keep these together for a while. Also here, for example, last note, if you don't have enough chain tracks pieces to make the chain tracks, you can put some wheels instead, and the model will still work. You know, I'm telling you, because these chain tracks are quite expensive. So if you need, here you need about 60 or so. So if you don't have them and you want to buy them through Bricklink, it can cost you a few pounds. So if you just want to put some wheels instead, it will work very well. Okay. The wheels, sorry, the tracks don't at the moment are not rotating, just because the surface here of this table is very smooth. Okay, guys, I think that's it for today. I've been keeping you here on this review for way too long, I think. So I'm just gonna say bye. I'm just gonna remind you, if you would like, if you like the video, just to rate it, to comment, to tell me what you think about it. And why not subscribe to the channel, because I'm planning to post a lot more. Okay, so thanks for your time, guys, and I'll see you soon.